Hello, my name is Dr. Ruth Newstifter, or Dr. Ruthie as most people call me. I have the joy and extraordinary fortune of being a professional sex educator, and I blog over at exploringintimacy.com. But today I'm here thanks to the great folks at funwares.com who make these videos possible and allow me to come to you and answer your questions on sex and intimacy and relationships and all that good stuff here on YouTube. If you want to send me a question, I might answer it here on YouTube. You can send it to AskDrRuthie, AskDrRuthie at funwares.com. And let's look at today's question. Dear Dr. Ruthie, I'm trying to choose a good lubricant for my girlfriend. She's never tried one before, so she doesn't know what she wants. Any tips on how to pick out a good one? Thanks, Fred. Fred, I'm so glad you're getting your girlfriend some lube, and congratulations to you for being the provider of her first ever lube, an experience that hopefully none of you will ever forget in the best ways. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what lube is and the different types and how to pick out the right one. Lubricant is basically a liquid or a cream or a gel that is made out of a number of different products, but is usually either water-based, oil-based, or silicone-based, or a combination of water and silicone-based together. And its purpose is to make sex more pleasurable and fun and comfortable and stimulating for both partners, but especially women, or especially anyone with an anus who is getting stimulated. And so people say, well, why would women need lube? Aren't they naturally vaginally lubricating? You know, the typical woman makes a teaspoon or less of lubricant during a sexual interlude, and that's not very much, especially if the ceiling fan is on, and if you're taking antihistamines and all sorts of other kinds of medication, that can also impact her physical arousal and lubrication. Also just stress, performance anxiety, all of those things can impact it. But you know what? It's not even just about needing lube. It's about wanting and liking lube. A lot of women just love the feel of it. They love being approached with a wet touch. Not all women, there are definitely exceptions, but many women do. So for some women, a wet touch helps her lubricate even more and get more turned on too. So wonderful. Lube can also help your condom last longer by reducing friction on the outside of the condom, or putting a tiny drop on the inside of the head of the condom to give the wearer a little bit more stimulation. So, okay, let's go back to those different types of lubes. Water, silicone, or oil-based. I generally just don't recommend oil-based for anything because oil can more readily harbor bacteria and is a little harder to clean up and for the body to flush out naturally. Silicone-based lube doesn't harbor bacteria in the same way, but it can be a little hard to clean up. The advantage is it doesn't dry or absorb the same way that water-based does, or absorb like oil-based might. It stays slick for a really, really long time, and unlike oil-based lube, it is condom-friendly. So no oil-based lube with condoms, but silicone-based lube you most certainly can use with condoms and gloves and things. It stays slick really long, and if you lubricate ahead of time, both yourself and your partner, and then you get into the water, you can enjoy more comfortable penetration and stimulation in the hot tub or the shower or the ocean or wherever you happen to be. So many advantages to silicone lube. However, you can't mix silicone lube with silicone toys. Some silicone toys are high enough quality that they claim to be fine with silicone lube. But unless you are willing to keep those toys separate from the others and make sure you're grabbing the right one, it's not worth the risk. You might ruin your best friend. The silicone lube will eat the silicone toy. So we have water-based, which absorbs a little more, dries a little faster, but you can use it with any kind of condom and any kind of sex toy. And many people, especially women, find that the water base makes a kind of consistency that feels a little more natural and they enjoy it more. Some women prefer oil or silicone, totally can happen. But water-based comes in a different range of thicknesses than the others can, and that can feel a little more natural for her. It also is less likely to leave kind of a slick coating in your mouth like the oil or silicone could. So that's something to take into consideration too. Okay. So think about those different attributes and which ones work best for you, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about water-based lube because it's got more variety in the thickness. It's generally what you're going to find most of at the store, and because it's all-purpose like that, it's a good thing to talk about. With lubricants, especially water-based lube, they can be a variety of thicknesses, from a really thin, light, watery kind of lube to a kind of a mid-weight to a really thick gel that barely moves, anywhere in between. There's even water-based creams, believe it or not, that are made to be sexual lubricants. When you're looking at the bottle, if she has any kind of sensitive skin, any kind of predisposition to yeast infections, then you're going to want to look for something that's organic and is glycerin-free. Because glycerin, especially low quality, is a type of sugar that makes the bacteria thrive, like the yeast, which that's not good, right? We don't want that thriving out of control. It doesn't contain any ingredients that you know her to have a bad reaction to, or that she knows herself to have a bad reaction to. If she's got a hardy system, then you don't need to worry about it as much, right? What I would suggest is getting little bitty sample sizes of lots of different water-based lubes of different brands and different consistencies and giving them a try. Now remember, just a plain old lube is the way to start. The stimulating and warming and tingling and cooling, those are all really nice. The flavored ones, that can be nice too, but the more chemicals, the more chance that it won't sit well with her body. And also, the more of those other attributes that are involved, when we have those involved, oftentimes a lube just doesn't lubricate as well. It tastes better than it feels, basically, or tingles more than it slickifies. So just start with a regular lube. You can always add that stuff in later once you find the couple of brands you like best. And it may be that she likes different lube for different types of things. One type of lube for anal stimulation, another for G-spot, another for clitoral. Who knows? She also may like different lubes at different times of the month because our hormonal balance and pH and stuff shifts around a little bit during our cycle as women. Sometimes different lubes actually feel and respond to our bodies differently at different times of the month. So all of this is fun reason to explore and find what you like. Don't get overwhelmed. I know it's a little complicated, but it should be really fun homework to try all these different kinds of water-based lubes. So give it a shot, give it a try. Make sure you're cleaning your toys and swapping out your condoms and all that good stuff as you need to make sure that the response is actually to the lube and not to any kind of cleanliness issues. And have a lot of fun with this and, you know, explore where she likes it applied. Don't worry about using too much because you can always wipe some away. And how often she likes it and which types of lubes for which types of stimulation. I'm Dr. Ruthie. I hope this helps you to choose the best kind of lube for you. Have fun finding out what works, and I'll see you at the next video. Thanks!